Phil, I felt like I hardly knew you this week. You know, I didn't know you were capable of such vicious attacks. I wasn't aware of it when you said it several weeks ago, but when I became aware of it, thanks to the awareness that Steph Diggs brought to your actions, I felt guilty just for knowing you. That's what I felt this week. I felt great shame for all of us. For all of the members of the media.
You know, I can't say I don't understand why, Beetle. I can't. I just hope with time those wounds can heal. You can accept me as a friend once again, and we can just get back on this train and keep it rolling.
I don't care what you say. You say whatever you want, man. I'm your friend.
Appreciate that, Zo.
Yeah, I got you back.
Zo, you're really tall today.
I get up there.
For the people watching at home. Unbelievable posture. You look great. Everybody looks great. Thanks for having me in. Yeah, I apologize for just sort of shaking your sense of reality over the course of this week, Beetle, but I think you're going to be okay. I think we're all going to be okay. We'll get through it together.
Time heals is what it is.
Yes.
When he mentioned you and Tom, what did your head just like pop up? Were you like typing something and like what?
No, I was right there in the front row.
Oh, did you know it was coming?
No, I wasn't
okay.
expecting it,
okay.
but it was something that I had talked to him in the locker room about a few days earlier.
Okay.
And so when he sort of started speaking the way in which he did, I sort of felt like something might be coming. I didn't know he was going to call us out by name. I don't really know why he called Tom out by name. Tom was he was on the show. He was hosting the show. It was an episode of Quick Slants. So I was not expecting that, but as he was sort of building towards it, I can't say I was completely shocked because we had a couple of interactions in the locker room actually before that.
That weren't pleasant?
No, they were very brief, and it was me trying to handle something in a 1-minute conversation because generally speaking, that's sort of what happens. Like I've been on the beat a long time. I've had a lot of interactions with players about things that I've said that they don't like or things that I've written that they don't like. Believe it or not, interactions that are even more awkward than that one.
So wait, you knew that he had an issue with you prior to the press conference? Someone let you know this?
Yes, in a roundabout way. So what had happened, it had happened weeks ago.
Yeah.
And somebody sent me a screen grab of Cardi B's verified account actually liking a tweet that said Phil Perry's an idiot in all caps.
What a win for Phil Perry.
Oh, right.
I love that.
So I said, okay, this is kind
Phil.
of like gotten back to his family.
I love that.
Phil, you know how many times that's happened to me?
Print that out. That's a keeper.
You know, it's kind of gotten back to people he cares about. I should probably say he probably knows about it. I should probably say something to him in the locker room if I can. Right? That's just that. That's not, I shouldn't say right. Whether you think that's the right way to handle it or not, I'm on the beat. I'm going to see this guy a lot over the course of the year.
It helps your relationship with the player moving forward.
I mean,
totally, 100%.
Whether it does or not, at least be accountable. Hey, right. I said this.
You're not hiding and dodging.
Apologize. You know, might have gone a little too far. Kind of speculative. Sort of delving into character, which I don't think is necessarily fair. So tried to say something to him in the locker room a couple times. Very brief interactions. The first time I caught his eye, he did not want to stop and talk to me. Just sort of gave me a look. The second time, he said, "We're good. We'll talk next week." And then the press conference happened, and that was just sort of the timeline there with that. Which is fine. I said it on the air that night. I said I had no issue with the way he handled it. He's welcome to handle it however he wants. If we can say stuff about him on the air that he doesn't like, he's more than welcome to use his platform publicly and say whatever he wants and handle it however he wants.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it because when it's all out in the open, we can talk about it out in the open. I think it's I think the whole thing, the entire episode is absurd. Now, if I were his coach, I'd be kind of aggravated that he did this week. It's been 3 weeks. He could have addressed it right away if he didn't like it. Could have done it 3 weeks ago. Now you're 3 days before a game. Or 4 days when he spoke the other day, and it's like 4 days before the game, week 1, we're now dealing with this. Why are we talking about this? Why are we focused on this from 3 weeks ago?
Well, obviously bugs him, right? Or he was bothered by it, or somebody close to him, like Cardi B, was bugged by it. I don't know.
Obviously, but
also,
Beatles talking about the timing.
If that's going to bug him, though, man, he's going to have a lot to be bugged about if it's not a good year here. Holy smokes!
Is it now that hey, I want to talk because I'm cleared? I'm ready to roll. Let's get this out.
He's been cleared. He's been out there doing everything.
His markets, the markets he's played in. Minnesota. How do you think the scrutiny is in Minnesota? How do you think it is in Buffalo?
Not great.
How do you think it is in Houston? Probably the most of any of the markets he's been in. And he was only there for 8 games before he got hurt.
That's really
and he was playing
one
well.
Guy.
Has he been in a market like Boston or Philadelphia or New York or Chicago when things aren't going well?
No.
Nope. That's going to be a new experience if things don't go well for him or the team or anything at some point this season. Because, Phil, I know you apologized.
Oh, no, I think it's been made into a much bigger deal. I regretted saying it. It does not need to, I think, be talked about as much as we're talking about it. I understand why we're talking about it here. I understand why we talked about it on Early Edition, BST. I talked about it yesterday with Toucher and Hardy. It's become a thing.
But what you said in terms of rankings of critical things you've said about players over the years, where would that one come in?
Not real high.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, wow, this was a very minor thing. And he held on to that for 3.5 weeks? Why don't you say something at a time? And you have every right to call someone out and say, I don't like what you said about me. Like, that's fair game. It's
definitely
always fair game.
Yep.
I don't like what you said. I think what you said is BS. I think you're an a-hole, Phil Perry. Like, do that right away. Do it right away if it's bothering you. But, like, now it's going to be a show. Like, again, we do shows. What it is. It's like, why'd you hang on to that for 3.5 weeks and do it the week of the game? If I'm Mike Vrabel, I look at that and I'm like, what are we doing? The same way I looked at him and said, what are we doing when you're out there riding around on the boat videoing the bags of pink substances? Like, what are we doing? What is this all about?
Yeah, I mean, he made it pretty clear that he didn't want to speak for all of that span of time, and even before I made those comments. And so the only person I think he's spoken to publicly in the media the last month is Diana Rossini. So I guess he had just sort of set that barrier for himself. That's my only reasoning that I can come up with as to why he wouldn't want to address it in real time. Well, I said I'm not going to talk to these guys for a month, so I'm just going to close it off for a month, and we'll figure it out later.
And it was kind of an odd discussion, which keyed all this off. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the coaches think. I don't know what I think. That didn't seem to me like I'm intentionally trying to take the opponent and make him think we're not going to play me. This isn't chicanery where we're just.
It was cryptic. It was intentionally cryptic. He said the other day he did it because he didn't want to let opponents know how well he was feeling. Apparently, I did not think it was a huge deal when he mentioned it. I still didn't think it was a huge deal, although I did think it was worth asking the head coach about it, which is why I did the next day. And I guess, we were kind of off and running from there.
Yeah, but then, I mean, the head coach had a wild response to it, too, with what he had to you. That was weird. That was really bizarre, which I think was just a way of deflecting, to, like, deflect and not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. He's obviously Vrabel's a ball buster, right? Yeah. So that is kind of his sense of humor, which is how I read it at the time. Like, I've said this before, I don't know him maybe as well as some others on the beat who were here when he was a player, but I know him well enough where for him to, bust chops in that manner is not surprising. I think it would go for a lot of people in those press conferences that way. Like, everybody's ready for him to say, I would think, everybody's ready for him to say something back to you where you might have to have a little bit of a back and forth. You kind of have to be on your toes with him. So I didn't read those comments in real time as, oh boy, he must be pissed at Diggs, which I think a lot of people did. That's just not the read I had on it.